Welcome to Imran's Star Video, or as we call it, ISVi, the collaborative lens on Vancouver, unfiltered, unscripted, and powered by community. We're not just a voice behind the mic. We're a collective of creators, thinkers, storytellers, and city lovers coming together to spotlight the people, places, and energy that make Vancouver what it is. From coast, mountain skylines to neon-lit backstreets, we're covering everything from downtown buzz to the untold stories shaping our scene. You'll find us exclusively on YouTube, no algorithms, no filters, just real talk. For behind the scenes updates and chaotic brilliance in real time, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. So hit subscribe, drop a comment, and help us grow. From 100 to 10,000 subscribers and beyond. Because this isn't just our platform, it's yours too. Turn it up, get into it, let's talk Vancouver. This is ISVi. Vancouver is one of the few places on earth where you can go from doom scrolling in your overpriced downtown microloft to standing on a mountain peak in under an hour. And still be back in time for overpriced brunch. The city's quite literally squished between an ocean, a rainforest, a jagged wall of mountains that look like they're photoshopped by Mother Nature during her dramatic era. While other cities offer hiking as a weekend getaway, Vancouver offers hiking as a Tuesday morning personality trait. Here, it's perfectly normal to see someone in full Gore-Tex on the bus at 6 a.m. with trekking poles or reusable coffee cup, and the energy of someone who definitely logs your steps on Strava and judges you for not doing the grouse grind for time. And let's talk about the geography flex for a second. Vancouverites live in a literal adventure sandwich, with the Pacific Ocean to the west, alpine peaks to the north, and miles of dense, misty forest ready to eat your phone signal and your ego. The landscape is so wild, even Google Maps occasionally gives up and just says good luck. But don't let the stunning vistas fool you. Vancouver hiking also comes with a default DLC called rain. Whether it's light mist, sideways drizzle, or biblical level downpour that soaks your soul through smart wool socks, the West Coast truly said, if you want these views, you're going to suffer a little. And we do, willingly. Because there's something very Vancouver core about looking like a soggy raccoon while staring at a foggy valley, whispering worth it. Why do we do this? Because hiking in Vancouver isn't just a hobby, it's a coping mechanism. It's how we deal with rent stress, existential dread, and the haunting sound of your landlord raising the price on your basement suite with exposed pipes. It's how we connect, unplug, replug, recharge, and collect mental clarity like Pokeballs on a trailhead. So whether you're a trail running adrenaline goblin, a weekend hiker just there for the vibes, or someone who just wants a cute pic for Hinge while pretending not to wheeze on the way up to Quarry Rock, Vancouver has a trail, a view, and a metaphor for your life waiting for you. If Vancouver were a dating profile, the geography section would just say, mountains in the back, ocean out front, forest everywhere, and yes, a hike. This city doesn't just have nature, it main characters in it. And whether you're here to touch grass or run from your problems, literally uphill, Vancouver's physical layout makes your inner outdoorsy wannabe feel like Bear Grylls on a wellness retreat. Let's start with the North Shore Mountains, the holy trinity of grouse, Seymour, and cypress. These bad boys sit right across the Burrard Inlet, like nature's own skyline, flexing all winter with ski runs and all summer with steep hills that exist solely to humble you in front of your dates. You can literally finish your overpriced boat float while downtown and be ankle deep in snow or pine needles within 30 minutes, if traffic and Translink's emotional damage permit. Then there's the forest. So much forest. Coastal rainforest to be exact, which is basically like hiking through a Studio Ghibli film, but with a higher risk of slipping in moss and ending up in someone's viral TikTok. Trails like Lynn Canyon, Capilano River, and Pacific Spirit serve up aesthetic mist, towering cedars, and the occasional raccoon giving you side-eye like it's judging your Spotify playlist. You don't go into nature in Vancouver, you trip over it on your way to yoga. And don't even get us started on the water. The Pacific Ocean didn't have to go this hard, but it did. Whether it's beach access at Third or Spanish Banks, oceanfront trail views in Stanley Park, or the full dramatic cliffs of White Cliff Park, Vancouver said coastal elite and meant it. You can hike to a view of the ocean, down to the ocean or alongside the ocean, whatever your fitness level or spiritual crisis requires. Even our nearby alpine escapes like Garibaldi, Elflin Lake, and Joffrey Lakes are only a drive away and come with more glacial flexes than an influencer in Iceland. The sheer variety of terrain is ridiculous. One weekend you're in a rainforest, the next you're on a snowy ridgeline with views that look AI generated, all without leaving the lower mainland. This place is so geographically gifted that locals develop a superiority complex that's 60% justified and 40% caused by the lack of oxygen at high elevations. People from other cities talk about getting out to nature, while Vancouverites treat hiking like an errand between brunch and their third attempt at breaking up with capitalism. So yes, the Vancouver geographic flex is very real, and if you don't hike, trail run, or at the very least own the Patagonia item you never wear correctly, people start looking at you like you admitted to using plastic straws in public. One of the best things about hiking in Vancouver, besides the spiritual awakenings and chance to cry in nature without judgment, is how absurdly accessible it is. You don't need a Jeep, a Garmin watch, or a mysterious backcountry friend named Chad who eats protein powder straight. Nope, you just need some decent shoes, some questionable weather optimism, and a willingness to sweat before brunch. This city has a trail for literally every energy level and personality type. Feeling emotionally fragile, but still want to move your body in a productive way? Lighthouse Park. Want something flat and photogenic so you can connect with nature while wearing makeup and headphones? Pacific Spirit Park's got you. Just got dumped and need a hill to scream cry on while earning your emotional catharsis? Welcome to the Grouse Grind, also known as nature's stairmaster and the #1 breakup recovery spot in the lower mainland. Not in the mood to suffer? Quarry Rock, rip until reopened. Lynn Loop and Stanley Park Seawall are the go-to I hike but like chill options. Perfect for couples trying to appear outdoorsy while clearly checking for the nearest coffee shop on Google Maps. But if you're built different or have something to prove to your ex, your boss, or your inner demons, Vancouver's got a solid menu of ego-crushing classics. Think Style Must Chief, where you haul yourself up chains like it's a CrossFit meets existential grid crossover, or Garibaldi Lake, where the views are so stunning they almost make you forget your knees are threatening legal action. Even better, most of these trailheads are accessible by public transit, car share, or friend driver. You can hop on the sea bus to the North Shore, jump off a SkyTrain, or lift your way halfway up to a mountain. No shame, you've all done it. Vancouver said, nature's for everyone, and yes, even if you forgot your gear and showed up in scant mitts. And the best part, it's a year-round vibe. While other cities mourn their chills from October to March, Vancouver shrugs and hikes through rain like it's part of the training montage. Sure, you'll be wet, a little muddy, possibly followed by a judgmental crow, but the forest doesn't judge, only Instagram does. So whether you're a casual stroller, a cardio masochist, or just trying to impress someone who uses the word elevation game in everyday conversation, Vancouver has a trail with your name on it. It's democratic, dramatic, just dangerous enough to remind you you're alive. Let's not lie to yourself. Yes, hiking is good for your body, your mind, and your spirit. And whatever music group gets activated when you're dodging aggressive, and whatever muscle group gets activated when you're dodging aggressive mountain goats. But also, we're out here for the pics, because Vancouver's trails don't just deliver views, they serve. The city's backcountry did not come to play. It came to humble you, bless your camera roll, and make your Instagram grid look like an REI campaign shot on film. Start with the grouse grind. Sure, it's basically vertical cardio murder, but once you reach the top, you're rewarded with a stunning view of the city below, a sense of superiority, and at least 10 other people trying to casually not pass out while taking their summit selfies. It's like a rite of passage. Hike up, pretend you're fine, post a sweaty photo caption, quick little grind. Then you've got Dog Mountain, the introvert friendly hike with the extrovert level view. A short, relatively chill walk through the forest, and suddenly, boom, you're staring down at the entire lower mainland like a benevolent nature god. Add snow in winter, insta gold. Add fog, congratulations, you're now the main character in a cinematic indie film about healing. Need something more alpine core? Try Garibaldi Lake, aka the ultimate blue checkmark hike. The 9 km climb is brutal. Your legs will file a restraining order, but the lake, literal turquoise chaos. It's the kind of place where people propose, cry, or rebrand spiritually. One glance at the glacial water and you're already compassing a caption about clarity and solitude, even though you hiked up with 4 friends and 2 bags of trail mix. Still not humbled enough? Welcome to the Chief in Squamish. It's part hike, part climbing wall, part character development arc. You scramble up change, stairs, and vertical rock slabs while whispering, "Why am I doing this?" But once you hit the top, a full cinematic panorama of Howie sound that hits harder than your therapy bill. Bonus, you can now officially roast your friends who tapped out after the first peak. Even the city's forest trails, like Lynn Canyon or Capilano River, offer fairy tale levels of beauty. Mossy trees, mist-covered bridges, and rushing rivers that are basically ASMR for your burnout. They're the perfect combo of chill and epic, where you can find yourself without losing your footing. And for those who prefer their drama with ocean energy, White Cliff Park, Quarry Rock, and the Sea to Sky Trail sections serve up stunning coastal views that look like window wallpapers but come with fewer pop-ups and way more seagulls. Standing there with the wind in your face, you'll forget your student loans, at least for 5 minutes. Let's be real, the views slap so hard in Vancouver, they've got their own personality. You hike, you wheeze, you sweat through your base layers, and then suddenly you're standing at a lookout point thinking, maybe I am enough. Maybe I should text them back. Maybe I'll move to Tofino and start over. So whether you're a seasoned trekker chasing peaks or a casual hiker just trying to not roll an ankle, Vancouver's trails will reward your effort with world-class scenery, emotional clarity, and a fresh batch of thirst trap content in front of a glacial lake. Look, we get it. You came out here for the views, the vibes, and maybe a little spiritual realignment after your last situationship imploded like a collapsed tent. But just because nature is free doesn't mean it's yours to trash like the group chat after a festival. Hiking in Vancouver comes with responsibility, not just remembering to hydrate and stretch. Because while it's easy to feel like you're the main character on a foggy ridge, you're actually walking through ecosystems older than your entire Spotify Wrapped history. That moss took decades to grow. That alpine flower probably bloomed for 2 weeks just so you could squat in front of it for a thirst trap. That trail maintained by underfunded volunteers and vibes. So maybe don't yeet yourself off the switchbacks just for content. This city isn't just blessed with aesthetic peaks and waterfall forests. It's also home to some of the most ecologically sensitive and culturally significant landscapes in the world. Much of the land we hike on is unceded territory of the Faceless people, including the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam nations. While many of us are out here trying to connect with nature, Indigenous communities have been in a reciprocal relationship with this land for thousands of years before TikTok made moss walls cool. So yeah, saying thank you nature in your caption is cute, but real respect looks like staying on the trail, packing out your snacks, and not treating backcountry toilets like suggestions. It means supporting Indigenous-led stewardship efforts, learning about the land you're hiking on, and acknowledging that these trails didn't just appear here because RE said so. You'll also want to get comfy with the phrase leave no trace, not because it sounds cryptic and cool, but because it's literally the difference between a functioning ecosystem and a dirt path covered in vape pods and rogue banana peels. Don't carve your name into trees, don't blast music like it's a Coachella campsite, and don't feed wildlife unless you want to die by karma and or angry raccoons. Vancouver's hiking community is slowly evolving from just here for the likes to low-key environmental advocate with compostable wet wipes. You'll find more people talking about cleanups, fire bans, and climate resilience because nothing ruins a mountaintop moment like realizing it might not exist in 10 years due to wildfires and rising temperatures. Want to be a real MVP? Carry out trash that isn't even yours. Donate to a local organization that maintain trails. Join a community cleanup. Share educational content along with your trail reels. But the person who packs out their snack wrappers and their ego. Because here's the truth, Vancouver's hiking scene only slaps as long as we protect it. And while nature doesn't need us to be perfect, it does need us to be slightly less chaotic. Let's just rip the band-aid off. If you think you're going to hike in Vancouver and stay dry, you are either delusional or new here. This isn't California. This is the Pacific Northwest, baby, where the trees drip even when it's not raining, and the clouds roll in with main character storm energy just to humble your entire mood board. The weather here is basically a chaotic neutral. 1 minute you're basking in filtered golden sunlight like an influencer filming a gratitude reel. The next you're drenched, freezing, and trying to remember what face of denial comes after it's probably just mist. Sunshine is a guest appearance, rain is the main cast. And don't even get us started on microclimates. Just because it's sunny in Kits doesn't mean it's not snowing sideways on Mount Seymour. You ever hiked up a trail in shorts and ended up sobbing into a soggy protein bar next to a patch of frozen mud? Welcome to the personality test known as Vancouver hiking. Now let's talk about wildcards. And no, we don't mean that hot stranger on the trail who says hi with too much eye contact. We mean wildlife, terrain, and the unexpected chaos of nature's group chat. Bears? Yup. Cougars? Sometimes. Aggressive geese that stare directly into your soul while guarding a pond like it's their emotional support body of water? Absolutely. Also, you should be prepared for random trail closures, mudslides, flash hail, washed out footbridges, and someone's off leash, he's friendly, dog launching itself at your granola stash. Basically, if you're not ready to improvise like you're on an episode of Survivor, Metro Edition, you're doing it wrong. So, what should you pack, you ask? Layers, because the temperature changes more than your situationship status. Think base layer, aka emotional support, mid layer, flannel, because obviously, and a waterproof outer shell that screams, I hike, but I'm not here to suffer. Snacks, the holy trinity, trail mix, granola bars, and something sugary to bribe your inner critic. Water, more than you think, no, more than that. Navigation, because losing cell service and relying on vibes and instinct is how horror movies start. Bear spray, not a fashion accessory, not optional. First aid kit, for blisters, bruises, and existential injuries. A headlamp, because that 4 p.m. sunset in November is out here trying to trap you in the woods like a budget horror plot. Respect, for the land, the weather, the trail, and yourself, even when your legs are screaming and your phone battery's at 3%. The bottom line is, don't hike like it's a spontaneous photo shoot. Hike like you're smart enough to live to tell the trail. The views are worth it, but only if you're not being airlifted out in a dramatic helicopter shot. At the end of the day, or more likely, the end of the trail, when your knees are clicking like a dying TikTok trend, you realize Vancouver isn't just a city, it's a lifestyle test disguised as urban planet. You can literally go from latte to summit, from high rise to high ridge, from mental breakdown in Kits to spiritual rebirth at 1,200 meters above sea level, all before your Uber driver text here. This place is hiking main character energy. It's where the line between urban professional and forest cryptid is razor thin and often defined by whether your Arc'teryx jacket has dirt on it. In most cities, hiking is a thing you do on a trip. In Vancouver, hiking is a Tuesday, a coping mechanism, a flex, a vibe, sometimes all three at once, plus a very chaotic trail snack system. And the magic, it's in the paradox. You can stand on a mountain peak and views that make your soul do yoga, then be back downtown ordering overpriced bao by sundown. You can be dripping sweat on a forest trail while still getting cell service to send that just doing a quick hike. Text your ex. You can cry on the grouse grind, find peace at Quarry Rock, and briefly believe in love again somewhere between switchbacks on Garibaldi. But Vancouver's hiking scene isn't just about aesthetics or cardiovascular trauma. It's about connection to the land, to your body, to a trail that doesn't judge you, even if your cardio absolutely does. It's about respecting the terrain, leaving no trace, and knowing when to turn back, both on the trail and emotionally, you know who you are. So, whether you're a seasoned hiker with 1,000 peaks under your trail runners, or a baby hiker who still thinks technical terrain means bringing a charger, Vancouver is your playground, your pressure cooker, your forest-flavored therapy session. Because here, you didn't need to fly to feel far away. You just need a backpack, a map, and a questionable weather forecast. The mountains are right there. The trails are waiting. The vibes are mossy. And if all else fails, you can always fake the summit shot with the background blur and just say, nature hit different today. And just like that, the city's pulse slows, but the story doesn't stop. You've been watching ISVi, Imran Star Video, where voices come together and the city speaks back. We're a crew, not a single face, a movement, not a moment, and every episode that's built with you, for you, by all of us. From the seawall to the skyline, from underground voices to rooftop vibes. We're telling the stories that don't make the news, but make the neighborhood. If this episode hit, pass it on. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Drop a comment and tell us what your Vancouver sounds like. We're building this together, clip by clip, story by story, from 100 to 10,000 subscribers to wherever this takes us. When we get there, we all show up. So until the next drop, stay loud, stay collective, and stay in it. This is ISVi, signing off.